Okay, this is a demonstration on how to use a tri-square. A tri-square is used to check to make sure that your wood is square. If you hold your tri-square flat up against the side of your wood and you slide it down, you should be able to see if your wood is square. There should be no spaces if your wood is square. So right here, there's no spaces. If I check the other side, you can see that there's no spaces. If I check this other side here that I flipped around, you could kind of see that this is not square, but when you check it with the tri-square, you could see there's a little gap there. That little gap means that the piece of wood is not square. Even if I check it on this side, hold it flat up against the side, you can see that there's still a little gap between the wood. So what you'd like to do before you start cutting a piece of wood is always check to see if it's square. So you want to line up your tri-square flat up against the side of your wood, and you're going to draw a square line as close to the edge of the wood as you can possibly get it. We'll draw a line right over here, and then after you end up cutting your wood, you would sand down to that square line. Tri-square can also be used if you were measuring your piece of wood and you needed to cut something. Let's say you needed to cut it at 1 inch. You would measure using a ruler. I'm using a tri-square right now, but you probably would be a little bit easier to use a ruler. Put a little mark on your wood, and then you're going to draw that line across with the tri-square. And you're going to draw a line 1/8 of an inch outside of that, a dashed line that you're going to be cutting on. So we'll draw a dashed line right here with the tri-square. Again, always make sure that this is completely flat up against the side of your wood. If there's any space like this or like that, or if you use the tri-square and you draw it like this, you know that your line's not going to be square. So you have to make sure it's flat up against the side of your wood. And we have our dashed line on here. We'd end up cutting this, clamp it into the vise and cut that, and then we would sand down to both lines. And that's how you use the tri-square.